Hello. Oh, hang on. I forgot to turn off my fan. The one thing I forgot to do.
Oh, no. That's okay. That's okay. Still less issues in the Backliners podcast.
There we go. Problem solved. All right. Hello and welcome back to
Oh, wait, now I can't hear you. Wait, maybe we don't have less issues in the Backliners podcast.
Hello? You can't hear me?
Nope, still can't hear you. I see you talking.
Oh, I pushed a button.
You muted in Discord.
Yeah, I muted myself.
There you go.
That was
Okay,
I was like, all my microphone settings are working? Question mark.
Oh yeah.
All right. Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. Let's see. What do you want to start with this week? Honestly,
well,
last week was a big week. We had Anthony Malum on the podcast.
We should intro the show. Obviously,
that's true.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, that's true.
Welcome.
Intro.
Yeah. Oh wait, we forgot the intro. Period. I got you.
Oh, true.
Wait, that's not the right button either. There we go.
That is huge. They've amped out the embers of Beyond's offensive core. Let's hope they've enough damage to back it up. Spiritedbook will not be denied. Gripped out. Ian swept away. Paranoid to the sky with a double. Holy stretch stand. Break the curse. Rampage there for Sifu. He has died for them after 4 long seasons of setbacks and second places. The Oscar goes to Book and the Bad News Bears. They will take Glacier Final.
Trying to go on me. Terrific. Ethan on me, ult on me. Naja, ult on me. Take this fight, boys. We win it. Yeah. Don't let them back.
I'm just certain.
All right, boys. Let's become champions. Run this shit down. Isn't on me. She's here. Kill her. Titan. Still ult.
Get her.
Go straight to Titan. That's ult down.
Go Titan. That's game, boys.
That's game.
Marshall
You gotta take this.
National
Let's fucking go.
Champions.
Let's fucking go. Shred it. Get us out of this game. No one's gonna go big. G fucking shit, boys.
Here we go, boys.
Let's fucking go.
That's 10 all. He's half. Come back.
Nice.
10 seconds.
Yeah, just live.
I'm up in 9.
Nice. Good damage. Be careful, just live. Nice. Run.
Nice.
Dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. Okay, there we go. Now we did our intro.
Banger intro as always.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Warriors of Albion Greenroom podcast. I'm still Spiritedbook, joined by my lovely co-host, the Hydra himself.
I am still Hydra as well.
Thank
so
God.
How you doing?
Thank God we didn't do any crazy name chains like Jaggy does. You know, like.
Oh, that's true. I am Bing Bub.
At least you're not changing your name to someone else's existing name.
True.
Oh,
well.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, we got stuff to talk about, obviously. It's post week 2 at this point, and a lot has gone on, both in the games themselves and behind the scenes and whatnot.
That's so true.
It's been really exciting to play so far, and there's a lot to talk about, I think. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you mentioned it a little bit before we started our intro, but we had the Anthony Malum on the show last week. That was great. Thanks, shout outs to him again. And then, sure enough, he shows up on Smite Game this past weekend. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, super dope. Yeah, he was casting Content Creator Cup. For anybody that missed that, go check it out. I'm sure Smite Game has their VOD uploaded. But also Anthony Mal had a huge announcement that he would be working with Hi-Rez, for Smite 2 as part of the casting team, which is, shout outs to him, give him his flowers. He's definitely worked hard to earn that spot. So, love to see him making it,
Yeah, agreed. And it was pretty funny because when I asked him, "Hey, like, do you want to come on the show?" and he was like, "Yeah, this is a great week to do it this week." And I'm like, "Oh, why's that?" And he said, "Oh, I can't really say." And I'm like, "Okay, let me guess. you're going to cast at SCC and you're working with Hi-Res. And he said, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? And I'm like, yeah. And then sure enough, not a couple days later, he's working at Hi-Res and he's casting for SCCC. So I was like, called it. I knew the whole time. I knew exactly what was going on.
Yes, but he didn't tell us. He didn't break any NDAs. So
no, he did not.
He did not tell us.
I did guess correctly. Yeah,
exactly.
We're just huge knowers.
Exactly. We were so in the know, honestly. Speaking of being in the know, I didn't know that the Athens team for Albion didn't play their set yet this week. I think they play tomorrow.
That's correct.
So, we usually start with the Athens team and work our way down, but I guess we'd start with, you want to start with the Crete team and work our way up so we can end on Sparta as well?
Yeah, we might as well. I mean, I'm just peeking these screenshots right now. I don't even think Delphi's played yet, or they already played. Delphi, that's correct.
Delphi did already play as well.
I mean, Warriors of Albion down in Crete took on the big scary Dargans, who I think Majin was saying this is one of the top end teams of their division kind of situation.
Yeah, I did watch the set live, and then there's a really funny Majin Busha gift that came out.
I'm pulling up right now. I'm pulling up right now if I can get it on.
It's so funny. I'll say it. Like it's actually an S tier gift. I'm not gonna lie.
It is top tier.
Yeah, so like the team, I don't know if you know, so for anyone that doesn't know, I helped them with like their kind of game strategy and picks and bans. And for game 1, I was there. For game 2, my internet went out because it was storming. So they ended up dropping game 2, and I was like, oh my god, please come back online so I can get in here for game 3. We ended up getting back in there for game 3, and they had like a super back and forth like game 3. And then they just were simply better at the end of the day. Their ADC had like connection issues and stuff during the set as well. But you know what? It's in the past. They've won the set 2-1, and now they just gotta beat their next opponent, next week. So
yeah, I mean it's they're 2-0 right now, which is pretty impressive. We
love to see it.
They're not the cleanest wins, but they're getting the job done at the end of the
wins.
Day. They are wins.
They are wins, which is good.
You got to get what you can take. And shout outs to Majin Busha with the best gif of all time. I don't know if I can pull it up here. I'll see if I can. We got to get rid of that, obviously.
It's like
our guest is not here. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good gif. 10 out of 10 would gif again.
Oh yeah.
I'll show it later in the show maybe, but yeah, it was pretty fantastic. I gotta tell you.
Go find Majin Busha on Twitter. He tweeted it himself. It's actually super funny. So
yeah, I mean it's a great reaction, man. Like I'm all about pop offs, and that is a 10 out of 10 pop off right there.
That's pop up of the season right there. I'm not gonna lie. So far, at least, it's definitely pop up of the season.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like I have not seen many pop off clips yet in OSL. Kind of disappointed. Not gonna lie.
True, we need more.
Yeah, we do need more. So that was pretty good.
Moving up to Delphi.
Yeah, speaking of popping off,
they also did win their set this week 2-1.
They did,
which is dope. Again, not the cleanest wins, but they played against Kids with Mittens, Delphi division. I think they said that was one of their harder matchups.
That's
there
the
are
underclash
22 reactions under the screenshot of just Warriors Albion head.
So. Make that 23, my man.
Boom. Exactly. Yeah, no, people definitely did not think that. I think this team was going to win. Like, I don't think that people thought the Delphi team was going to win this week. They had a pretty rough showing, I think, week 1. So I think that caused a lot of people to underestimate them. They did get 2-0'd in week 1. But week 2, they end up winning. They end up pulling it out. And they look pretty good, I think, while they were doing it. I think they have a pretty good idea of like the kind of play style they want to play. I think they're settling into their own. So that's always exciting to see.
I'm peeking these screenshots right now. I'm so proud of Cheese Man. He listened to my build advice. He's going that
true
Aussie Rage Dom Deathbringer and then Demon Blade last item. I think it's a little outdated of a build for this current meta, but if he's making it work, he's making it work.
Exactly. They did give him Freya also in game 1, so like that's also really nice.
Which like
nice of them,
Dude, I don't think she's that good.
I see. I gotta disagree. I think that character's OP.
I disagree. I think
we'll talk about that in the meta discussion. I think later.
Yeah, we can. And then I hate it here. Should we talk about? Yeah.
Well, guys.
Listen, someone had to lose this week for the lads.
That's true.
If the Delphi boys are winning, someone else has to take the L. So we'll take the L in honor of the Delphi boys getting their W, I suppose.
So true.
I mean, look, we had a bad week of scrims in terms of like Mex has not had power or access to like the ability to play on his computer for like the whole week. We had one game with him, and then he couldn't show up for Sunday, so we had to play with Tunda, and Tunda's pretty good, but there definitely was something missing when we were playing in our set, and that was a tough one. But I'm glad we lost now, and we're losing now, and it's forced us to really think about our play style going forward into this week of scrims.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think dropping a game this early in the season is not like the biggest deal, especially to a team that I think you guys are probably better than usually. I think this is it's always a good wake up call, because it reminds you that you guys can bleed, like you guys can make mistakes, and you'd rather start making mistakes in the beginning of the season than at the end of them, so. Yeah,
I mean, one of the copes, I think, as I would call it, is that Spiritedbook wins all throughout regular season, then loses in playoffs. Well, can't lose in playoffs like this now if I lose too early on. So
true.
Gotta break that curse and that cope out of the way right now. Just get rid of it now before we get to playoffs.
Exactly. But you guys do fall down 0-2 this week. But honestly, I'm excited to see what you guys do next week.
Agreed.
I think. With the meta will be like more settled, I think, next week as well. So you guys have a better idea like what you guys want to prio and stuff. So
yeah, I think also we got super meta diffed. I think game one, we like literally before the draft, I'm like, okay, these are the picks we're gonna play, and this is how it's gonna be. And then we got into the game one draft, and people were like, well, what if I play this pick instead? And I'm like, okay, we can, but, and then sure enough, we strayed away. And then game two, I think they had more momentum, and then we just had the way we lost game one. We needed to change something, and I don't think we adapted well, which is what it is. We're learning, and not having Mex there definitely hurt us a lot. And they made some roster changes going into it. Jay Swervy definitely carried that team quite a bit. And
I think he looked really good.
It happens, for
that team for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for him. Good for
Jay
him.
Swervy did put on the clinic game one on Thor. That was not fun to deal with.
Yeah, he went like 7-2 and 7. Dropped a nice 26k damage. So he was getting in there. He had some impact for sure.
A little bit.
Shout out Jay Swervy. Shout out Jay Swervy. Honestly.
Shout out to
But and as we said before, the Athens team hasn't played yet. I think they play tomorrow, I believe, unless they've rescheduled like Wednesday.
Is it tomorrow or Wednesday?
It may be Wednesday. So we'll see. So, but yeah, they at least so far by the time we're recording this, they haven't played yet. Yeah. So keep an eye on their game for the week, see how they do. Maybe we'll briefly talk about it next week on the podcast. Talk about this week's matchup, and then hopefully if they play by default time, we'll talk about the Sunday match as well. Since they want to reschedule and avoid our podcast. Exactly. Yeah. But we talked about a little bit the meta. We talked about it in the last podcast about like our thoughts on like some of the items and some of the characters and stuff. Let me throw it to you first. Yeah, like how do you feel about this meta, man?
I thought ADCs were the weakest role last patch. And despite that, I thought they were actually in a pretty good state, all things considered, and you could still do decently well. You could play the game, you could farm, make a slight impact early and mid as a hunter player. Now we get to this point where mage ADCs are super broken or super hit or miss. And then hunters are just abysmally bad. And this is not fun. This is a terrible patch. Everyone on my team hates this patch. And I also think that's why we lost this last weekend set. Because all I heard was people complaining about shifters.
Yeah, I was talking about it last welike because you guys asked me, like what was like my favorite and least favorite item, and I said that my least favorite item was going to be shifters because of how stupidly busted it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're a week later, and everyone can agree that item is not okay.
Yeah. I almost think they need to make an emergency bonus balance come through.
Listen,
to nerf that.
If bonus balance doesn't so we were talking about like ways to nerf shifters. I think first of all, it having 50-50 prots and being a better thief is just nuts. Like even if it's 35-35, I think it's still good. Like it's still insane. It's so hard to even balance it. because like if you nerf it too hard, it's going to be a returning item that nobody builds.
Which I'd
But right
personally
now,
be pretty
it's a returning item
content
that
with,
everybody's
you know?
building.
I'd be okay with that. No one buying that item right now. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, honestly, I've seen mid laners hit 4k HP with like a Warlock Shifters E-Staff build, and like that's not fun to play into.
Game two,
you know, obviously
game
supports
two of
fellow
our
laners.
set. It's a Baba Yaga with Warlocks and fucking Shifters, and she did
Yeah,
negative
you're not killing that.
damage, but I didn't kill her. Like she went
Yeah,
like
you're not killing that.
4-0 and 17.
Yeah, you're not killing that, buddy. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry to tell you.
Yeah, it was not
the
fun
item's
to play.
really unfun. On the bright side, I will say Cannoneers feels great. Once they nerf Shifters,
Yeah.
all of my supports will see the light of how busted that item is.
Yeah, that item is
Man,
really
that item's
fun.
OP.
That item
Yeah.
is really fun. It's really OP. It really is the new sort of melee renewal and like, Gauntlet of Thebes. Like it's just
Yeah,
that
that's-
good. It's such a good stat stick for how cheap it is.
Exactly. You can get a thing like what 2 minutes into the game, by the first invade, like it's huge. If you get a first blood in that lane,
You're literally
you won the game already.
You're literally getting it before the second round of buff spawns on.
Oh,
Duo
buffs.
side.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Like it's that good and that cheap, and I'm just like, this is so broken. Why do tanks have to get all the cool broken items while I'm here stuck with Fatalis that I can't even
Well,
build on hunters? I can only really
I was gonna
build them
say-
on magicals.
Yeah, because the mage ADCs are loving Fatalis right now, man.
Yeah.
Freya with Hecate Fatalis, she has a build now. She has a build again.
Yeah, I mean she does, but I think Freya's not that good, and I'll elaborate
Nope.
here a little bit. I think she's pretty good laning phase once she gets Fatalis and Hecate, obviously. And she could do the Freya lane things, right? She can run down the enemy ADC and they can't play the game against it. But I think late game, Freya still suffers from the same issue she has always in this iteration of Freya, in which her 2, which is a ranged auto attack, is a timed ability. So her ranged attacks are limited based off of cooldown, right? So I don't think she doesn't do what you need out of ADCs right now, which is consistent objective and consistent like tower damage, so to speak. And range damage.
I have the opposite opinion of Freya. I think that character is SSS billion tier. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't say that because you're a tank player, though.
Exactly. Like I'm building shifters and I'm killing the enemy ADC by myself as like Cerberus support. So like at least like for me it's like, oh, like if my Freya presses 4 and then their ADC is dead by the time she lands, she has infinite value because I've done my job in murdering the enemy ADC, which is weird that that's my job now. Like
Yeah.
like because all my items can just kill people now. Like this is just so haha funny. It's just so silly.
Yeah. Support is so broken right now.
Yeah, I love it. But I do think Freya's actually really, really good right now. I think her build's really good. I don't think she's like uncounterable though. Like some people would just be like they just think like if you lock her in, she's an auto win. Like, first of all, if a team's top picking Freya, I'm locking in Erlong Kuzenbo and she's not gonna have a game.
Yeah. Like any interruption at like base characters will just absolutely destroy that character.
Yeah. And then like, do I flex a Kuzenbo to solo support? It's going to support so it can jam her down her face. Spoiler alert. But like, I mean, if I need to flex it into solo, it can, and then we just pick another pressure pick, or you get a heavy dive solo laner that kills everybody. Like, she's not gonna survive that, you know. So like, I don't think she's like uncounterable, but I think she is. I think she's the best she's been in a while for sure. But I don't think she's like insanely like OP.
Yeah.
You can't counter her for sure. So
Yeah, for sure. I kind of agree. I think that's the issue, is that the version of OP for ADC right now is like much lower than the very actually OP for like every other role right now. And like especially like the frontline roles. Like the frontline roles are just OP. Like I think just about every single support is stronger than every single carry right now.
honestly, yeah.
I was trying to think about like what character would I maybe put below, maybe like Kumbhakarna or something. But like if you're
I hate Kumba.
if you're
I'll put
going
him
that low, like into like the support like frontline tier list, that like they are just so much better than all the other carries and stuff right now. Like it's just not it.
Yeah,
man.
and honestly, like again, like, you know, I've been going back to like some other picks as well recently. Just, you know, new items, new patch, you know, fun times, and like half the supports just either they just don't die or they kill everybody else. Like I'm locking in Kepri into not Kepri friendly comps, and he just doesn't die because he can just build whatever he wants to build. He has shifters. He has cannoneers at like 2 minutes. Just not. It's not. I mean, it's fun for me, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure
my
it is.
games are free.
That must be nice. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I've played like 5 ranked games like today and yesterday. It's probably more than 5 at this point. Every single one, my support is inting before level 5 and before the second round of purple buff spawns. So we don't get the second purple buff, and then they continue to invade every single purple buff, and we continue to not defend our purple buffs, and I don't get to play the game. And I'm just like, ADC has never been more reliant on the rest of the map, and it's really sucks right now to play.
Yeah, it feels really bad. I mean, I'll play different roles in ranked, and then like I was playing a solo lane game the other day, and I had like 80k on Cthulhu because I got okay right now for some reason.
Solo is so broken.
Yeah, exactly. But I end up losing the game because like my dual lane's 0-15, but by the 10-minute mark, and like I don't have any impact on the map before then. Yeah. So it just feels so bad to like not play a roaming role right now. Being used to playing roaming roles, obviously. But yeah. And overall, please nerf shifters. Bonus balance can't come soon enough because man, the item's way too good.
Agreed.
I don't think anyone's gonna fight against that.
Which is too bad because like the other roles or the other items that were added are actually pretty underwhelming. Like, and overshadowed. Like obviously people are buying the Phoenix Shield, but like I don't feel like the Phoenix Shield is like absurdly broken. Like obviously hunters are having a hard time killing tanks, but that's for like a multitude of reasons. And then like Nemean isn't actually as broken as I thought it might be. Crit is actually still very viable on ADCs. Fatalis is actually just sucks on hunters. Like Ichevol, like I don't even know if you really look at Ichevol. Like if you do, you're pretty much selling it late game because like it doesn't do what you.
I've seen some people sell it for oboe lately.
Yeah, I think that's probably the avenue. But like, yeah, I find like all the other items are pretty overshadowed by just shifters existing.
Honestly,
like it's
that's everyone's really like building shifters, experimenting with shifters, which is like unlucky because like again, I think like Ansel like I tried it in a couple games and like it feels good if they have like challenge abilities like Cerberus tries to breathe on you like or he leaps on you and he gets silenced. Like you can just fry him. Like it's actually a really good counter item for like a lot of characters. Canceling Cthulhu dash.
It's gotta feel great.
Yeah, like you can do a lot of stuff with Ansel, but it's gonna get overshadowed just because shifters is so OP. And then like I'm also afraid they're gonna nerf Phoenix Shield too hard because like the gods that are building it are also comboing it with shifters. I think if you just hit shifters, Phoenix Shield's not that strong, honestly.
I agree. I think like shifters is the only one that really needs to be like properly nerfed. I think the other ones could maybe receive a little bit of help. But like outside of that, I just want to see a shifters nerf next patch. Like that would be the only like real nerf I think I need to see next patch is the shifters because we really don't understand what the characters are really OP or not or just like
just because that item's so bloated.
Yeah, it's so bloated. Like it made Baba Yaga good in our set the other day. We couldn't kill Baba Yaga, and that character sucks right now. So like
that character cheeks.
I don't know, man. It's pretty brutal.
Yeah, but I mean honestly. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think this meta is pretty brutal. But speaking of brutal, we can move over to the transaction tab and talk about some trades and stuff that happened.
Yeah, trades that have happened on the air or haven't happened yet.
Yeah, exactly. Some drops, some trades. We'll start from I think the last one where we left off. I think Kitsune claimed Eltrud. I think we covered that one, but just in case we didn't.
Did we
Kitsune
talk about
Delphi claimed?
Oh yeah, we talked about it's Reiku and the Hunter trade. Yeah.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So Delphi Kitsune ended up picking up a player, from free agency. Nothing insane there. I don't really know a lot about that person particularly. So, it's Kings of Mittens, Athens Division, though, are gonna be, they have the next 2 trades, and we're gonna start focusing on that. So, Kings of Mittens drop Kane Tempest.
I wonder why. Why did they drop Kane Tempest? Ban Tempest.
Yeah. So. Yeah, because you guys don't know, Kings of Mittens, Athens Division lost their jungler. They were in the middle of a scrim. They're going to game 4 because they're psychopaths, by the way. And as they're loading into game 4, Kane Tempest gets hit with a big old ban, a big old Smite game ban. So it looks like he's out for the season. Hopefully that can get appealed and his ticket gets heard and stuff like that.
It could be appealed in like 6 months or something like that.
Yeah,
I heard.
So when Smite 2 is like 24/7, so like he basically his Smite 1 days are kind of Jover, at least competitively. because obviously you can't make another account because that's ban evading. So he doesn't want to get in trouble for doing something like that, obviously. So, so I think he's just content to just chill for us this season. But yeah, free Kane Tempest till is backwards, honestly.
We lost our AGL jungle sub as well, Kane Tempest.
He was our AGL jungle sub.
That kind of sucks. But to follow it up, obviously some changes needed to be made to this KWM roster. So trading Bingus to Fallen Angels for Control Alt Eat.
Yes. So Fallen Angels, they were a team that ended up benching Control Alt Eat. So then benching Antonio.
Which is like, why?
Well, so Storm could move to ADC because Storm originally was playing mid. Yeah,
why?
I don't know, bro.
Why is Storm role swapping? He's my God.
In case you guys don't know, Storm's a support main. At least he has been before the season. I have seen him play a little bit of ADC and a little bit of mid in the rank queues. But
I'm sure Storm is a pretty decent ADC or decent mid player, but I don't think he's an Athens level player, and I don't think anyone would draft him in Athens in mid or ADC. The difference is he's a captain. Oh my God, it's so annoying.
Yeah,
so
I mean, like,
annoying.
definitely the argument's there to be had. Like, obviously, if he's support captaining, I think it's different. But like, for him to be off rolling in Athens.
It's just so
and there's some really steep competition in those two roles as well. Like if it's like another role, it's like maybe not as deep. But you're going against, let's talk about, Kingdom of Mittens former ADC, Zaylin or Antix, former SCC player. You're not going to compete with someone like that if you're just off rolling into ADC, so. Yeah. So unlucky there, but Zaylin, thankfully, for Storm is no longer playing ADC. For Kings of Mittens, he's moving to jungle. And Controlled Ait, who's been picked up off Fallen Angels, will be moving to ADC for that team. So that roster is now looking like Snatty solo. Let's see. Let me make sure I don't get any of this wrong. Kumu mid, Snatty solo. Let's see. Digit support, Controlled Ait or Antonio ADC, and I'm missing their jungle now. Oh, it's Antix. There we go. Zaylin or Antix is jungle. So that roster still looks pretty good. They're definitely not dead in the water.
They're not, are they?
Well, not yet. But we'll see how future trades deal for them. Spoiler alert, there was one a day.
There was.
So Going Ghost Creed Division agreed to send Mini Donut to Blood Wardens Creed Division in exchange for Pineapple is Lazy. This is a really good trade for them. I think Going Ghost has been struggling. In Creed Division, they've been struggling. On paper, they probably have like the best duo lane in Crete. But their jungle presence was really, really weak. They were really struggling for junglers. So they end up putting their bench player in jungle, and their mid laner did drop, by the way, as well last week. So they end up picking Pineapple is Lazy from Blood Wardens and putting them in the mid lane. So hopefully Going Ghost Creek can get something turned around. Hopefully, if not, GG. No, Going Ghost. No pun intended. So.
And then we have our final trade, which literally happened today.
Yep, 6:06 p.m. So.
Sasano
Blood Wardens Athens Division.
Blood Wardens trade Sasano Lol to KWM for Cleo.
Yep.
Which I don't know who Cleo is.
Cleo is their bench player. Friends with Humu. They're pretty good friends. I think Cleo's also a mid laner though. So, I don't know. Honestly,
was this the person,
to be fair,
that you said needed to, no? Do you know? Do you know? Or you don't know?
See, the thing is, I don't know.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, which this might be the only trade that this team makes for the week. It might be the only trade they make for the week, and they may just play on Sunday and see like how their current roster feels. We'll see. But yeah. So yeah, but this was like a sub trade. This also I think Sasonolo is a jungler. So if you just lost Kane Tempest, and you're not sure like how your jungle's gonna be, or maybe if your new ADC pickup's not gonna work out, you could just put Antix or Zaylin back in ADC and maybe try out Sasonolo as a jungle option.
Sasonolo is a huge rank spammer, so it'll be interesting to see if they can kind of adapt to the competitive scene and like I don't know if that's like a name change or what, but like I've definitely seen them in ranked.
I don't think it is. At least not this season. It's not a rank change, but I do see them in the rank queues often. So. Yeah. So, I have no idea what the Kids and Mittens Athens division roster is gonna look like right now.
Nope.
I think we just have to wait till Sunday to see who's starting. What only scrims will tell. I was gonna say only time will tell, but only scrims will tell with that team because they will scrim 5 times a week and figure out what the best roster is for them. So, but yeah, no. Anything other in Athens happening drama-wise? Really nothing much. It's been pretty quiet. There's been some American politics that kind of happened, but like Athens doesn't really talk about it that much or anything like that.
Sparta was all over it. Like,
yeah, I heard the Sparta was kind of a cesspool.
It was such a shit show. We're not gonna go into it. It was such a shit show. It should never have been brought up.
Yeah, it was just unlucky. On the bright side, though, at least people in most of the OSL chats were at least pretty understanding about it. Not like understanding, but like pretty open to like civil discussion with it. Like Athens talked about it for maybe 2 minutes and we're like, wow, that's kind of crazy that this even happened. And then like obviously the Twitter memes came out and then people were sharing the Twitter memes and said, like, haha, it's funny. We're so cooked as a country though. And everyone's like, agree.
Unlucky.
So, that was basically the end of it in Athens, but I heard some of the other divisions kind of went a little more ham with it, which is unlucky, but
yeah. Actual OSL drama going on. Well, cool drama, quote unquote. There's definitely a lot going on different teams. There's a lot of teams looking to make trades in Sparta for sure. I don't know. Do you think I could talk about the one? I mean, it's not like official, quote unquote, but it's definitely like in the process of going through.
I mean, I would say sure because you're kind of in charge of that one.
Yeah.
Right?
So like Thunder's going to be heading over to La Jungla. La Jungla are going to be trading me Slag. SLJ Slag or something like that.
SL Jag.
Which happy to have him on board. Star reached out and said, I really want Thunder. And I said, you can have him. Thunder wanted to start. So I had no issue of, obviously this entire season, I've been very honest with Thunder and said, hey, what are your goals? Obviously you want to start. I will try to make that happen for you on whatever roster reaches out and whatnot. And so made it happen, and Thunder was like very appreciative of that, which is awesome. So
yeah, I mean, I think it's always a good thing because I had a very similar philosophy when back when I captained last season, the season before that even, was that like I treated my bench players as like trade fuel almost. Like, hey, like if I can get you a starting position on a team, then you're just gonna go to a team. Yeah, like it is what it is, and like if we lose a game and like we pull in subs and we lose a game, I'm not mad at our subs if we lose a game, obviously. No. And if we're subbing people out, I'm like, whatever, it's a practice week basically. That's kind of how I treated it.
Yeah, I don't see the reasoning to bench players and then keep them on your bench and just sit there. Which I know some rosters are doing. Cool. Yeah, I know some rosters are doing it, and I am not a fan personally of that kind of stuff going on right now. And
I mean, because you're just ruining someone else's season, honestly. Like, OSL's like, this is already the last season of OSL and Smite 1. That we know of, obviously. But this is the last planned Smite 1 OSL season. So like if someone wants to go to a different team and like play for like their friends or like play like just try and get play time and you're gonna keep them on the bench, just hold them hostage, you're kind of a jerk move, man,
Yeah, I don't understand the whole keeping people on the bench. Like if people like, and there are people like Slag, for example, like already spoken to them briefly, and like Slag knows like Rekka and Mex from our team already, an A&M player as well. So like Slag said already to Rekka, like I'm happy to kind of just sit on the bench this season for you guys. But I'd much rather be here than on the other team. And I'm like, okay, perfect. That works for us. We will.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a good trade. It was a good overall trade. It hasn't obviously gone through yet, quote unquote, but like it's in the process and Yeah, exactly.
Which, I mean, I do think, I mean, especially with like your team situation where, again, Mex was very unavailable this last week, just like due to, unfortunate not having power issues.
Yeah.
Having a support sub, which that's SL Jags, that's Slag's main role. He plays support. He has a pretty, mean god pool as well. So, if in case something like that comes up again this week, you guys will be more prepared for it. I think you guys will be more prepared to handle that kind of thing. So,
yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll go well.
Yep. Obviously, good luck to Thunder on the new roster. Obviously, wish him the best.
Excited to see him start. Exactly. And then obviously, kind of disappointed. I mean, we played Fallen Angels this past week in scrims and went 1-1. Again, we had subs and it was a shit show. It was a hot mess. Or not Fallen Angels. Yeah, it was Fallen Angels. I'm just trying to find
it was Fallen Angels,
the screenshot if they did play here. Fallen Angels had a different duo lane. They had their Delphi duo lane. And I was kind of like, what's going on here? So Fallen Angels made some major changes in their roster. They put Zar into mid, which Zar is a very good mid laner.
Yeah, exactly. Tiamat, looks filthy.
Gatto is still playing jungle, and C Spades is now playing solo. And they have a Delphi duo lane. So part of the
like that's like their roster for like matches too, or
they played that in the scrim, and then they played it in the match this week as well. So the T is that I guess Eden V, which really disappointed to hear this, by the way. Like going into the season, I was kind of like, oh, Eden V was someone to look at. I'm excited to see.
Oh yeah, exactly. You thought about drafting that person.
How they play. Apparently Eden V just gave up on the team, and C Spades is kind of at a loss for words on it, but Eden V has decided to no longer play. And today, I guess C Spades said something along the lines of, if anyone doesn't want them, I think they're going to end up dropping today. So,
oh man,
I think they're on the way out, man, which is too bad.
It's
such a bad look.
Like that's how you never get drafted again, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, in a draft league, like you could be like, hey, like I don't want to play for the team. Like you can bench me for a week, but like if you can trade me, like that'd be dope. Or like I'll play for you, but like literally trade me like by next week. Like I'm not joking.
Try to trade me.
Like that. Yeah, that's different. But like literally like, throwing your whole team under the bus like that, like just kind of jumping ship like that is not.
Especially because it's not a bad roster. Like I don't understand. Like Zar ADC, Gatto Griff jungle. I think Freak is their usual mid laner, but I don't think he's been available, and maybe that's why. That's why like Zar's currently playing mid, and they've brought up a Delphi dual lane, maybe for a bit. Is my best guess, and then maybe they'll switch back. I don't know, but like the team isn't bad. Like it's just going through a rough patch and needs to figure out its play style.
I mean, we did say this initially when we were giving our initial impressions of like all the teams and stuff, that like that team just seemed really okay.
Yeah, it seems
like,
okay. We need some time
out, they'll be good.
They need a bit of time to cook, and then they'll be on the climb. But I guess like when I think I don't want to say this roster is now like doomed, but like now it does like have that kind of feeling around it, right? That it has that doomed feeling of like long term, because now you have to find new players, you have to figure out new roles clearly. Take time to adapt to that, figure out new play styles with new players.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I will say, first of all, I mean, shout out to Seed Space for like even trying to handle the situation, because it's not easy to handle a situation like this as a captain. I've been in a situation like this as a captain, and it really sucks because like if if you handle it really, really well, that kind of energy of like, oh, like, like this person just like dipped on the team. If you lose like one or two more matches, it's really hard for your team to be really invested, almost like in the season as a whole at that point, because you're like, oh, like we're just kind of out of luck. We got kind of screwed over. It's a very infectious, downward like trend that can happen.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work and a lot of maneuvering to try and like stave that kind of stuff off. So I hope they can figure that out, because again, like that's like not only did Eden V like kind of nuke his own season, I think, by being like, oh, like I give up, but you're ruining the season for everybody else on that roster.
Yeah, which I think that's the cardinal sin in my opinion. Is like, if you're not having fun, I get it, but like there's four other people and then some of like players you have to think about as well when you sign up for a league like this. And if you're not willing to commit, you should never sign up.
Just don't sign up.
Yeah, if draft leagues are not your tea, if you're not like willing to buy in and like commit to a team that maybe won't be the best right away, like, then I don't see a reason you should be signing up personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunate there. Unfortunate.
I think that's all the drama that's been happening lately.
I mean, that's some spicy drama, though. I'm not gonna
It
lie.
do be some tea, man.
Yeah.
There's definitely
Yeah,
more,
no,
but like you can't air
exactly.
all of it, unfortunately. Like there's
nothing like that's like not. Yeah, we don't want to talk about anything that's like not insanely confirmed.
There's so much on the trade block that just spills so much tea, man. Like it's so good. I love it. Like
all we can say here at the Green Room is keep an eye on that transaction chat, and then if you miss it, then we're gonna cover for you next week. So
yeah,
man, but no, I'm excited. So who's your guys' next match that you play against this upcoming week?
I want to say it's Bards College, who I believe we play against tonight in scrims.
That's
which
wild.
Maybe isn't the best idea, but I think scrims against anyone right now for us is better than like no scrims at all. So
yeah, you guys do play against the Bards College tonight. And next week, and
on Sunday, yeah. Oh man, that's pretty funny. And we could look at Sparta standings as things stand right now. Here, let me pull this up.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about those actually. So at least right now,
here, let me do one of these real quick. Yeah, yoink. Yeah. Oh, that's not the right one. That's YouTube. There we go. So,
we'll talk about the Troy conference first.
By the way,
Sparta.
I want to quash any of these stories real quick about how one division is tougher than the other.
Okay.
That is so fake news. It's insane, man. Like for people to say that and be like, oh, like one division is so much tougher than the other. Just be the team that makes the division tough, and you won't have that problem. So that's just
exactly. I will say that like that is a thing sometimes, like in Athens right now there is a Mickey conference, which is just funny because like the three best teams are in the same conference. I had no idea why they did that because the captains obviously picked what teams went to what conference and they just messed up. So it was just really funny. But at least in Sparta I think it looks pretty even.
Yeah.
Troy conference has two really good teams that looking really good right now, which is Going Ghosts and Royal Jesters. They have gotten 2 wins. They have 5 points each. So W. And then you have a bunch, like literally almost every other team that just 1-1. So Big Sierra Dargans, Blood Wardens, Crew, Fagard, all tied for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th respectively.
But like every team in this division has scored a point. So
yeah, exactly.
First of all, Mickey, quote unquote, or worst division, like that's not true for this division already.
True. And then you have I don't even know how to say the conferences.
I don't even know, man. Is it Acheons?
I'm just gonna call it the AC conference. So in the AC conference, the AC conference.
You really gotta get that in there.
Yeah, but Kittens and Mittens, Sparta Division, they have 2 wins and they have 2 woed both their wins. They have 3 points on both those wins. So they have a 6-point lead. Right now they are looking pretty spicy. As one of the better teams in the division. Heart Showers. They are 1-1. So
shout out to Heart Showers getting the win this week. Apparently, a lot of people did not think they were going to win against La Jungla, but they came out swinging. And
La Jungla has not even gotten a point yet, which
forced La Jungla to make some roster changes, as we discussed previously.
Yeah. Kitsune obviously ended up getting a win this week. They're 1-1 with Albion. This week they're 1-1. And let's see, Skogs haven't played their second match yet. So they're 1-0. So we'll see that they're
still above other teams that have won a set. By the way, that's pretty funny.
They are. Yeah, very very wild. Banshees are 1-1 right now with 2 points. So that means they 2-0. Wait, no, they 2-1 and then he got 0-2'd.
Yeah.
So yeah, La Jungla has not scored a point. They've been 0-2'd both weeks. Unfortunate for that roster. Hope to see some more changes soon. And then Bards College. They were 0-2'd once. They got 0-2'd by Skog. So they've only played one match though. So right now, at least by the end of this week, La Jungla comfortably is the worst team in this conference. Or they're tied with Bards if Bards get 0-2'd this week. So
yeah, I mean, like Bards have not played a second set yet, and so this is an NCAA.
Yep.
What's NCAA 25? I don't know, man. Anyways, yeah, Bards have not played their second match yet. I still feel like this is a roster that's struggling. Keep an eye out.
You scrim them tonight, so you tell me later.
I mean, keep an eye out on the trade block. That's all I'm going to say, man. Or the transactions, because I think this team is also looking to make changes. We do scrim them tonight. We'll see how that goes. I think we'll be experimenting a lot though, so I wouldn't put too much weight on who ends up winning that one. But like, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's been our previous weeks of play. We could talk about like what's upcoming here, which I think is pretty cool for Sparta. Oh, hello for Sparta here.
Yeah, the matches for next week, we can talk about those really quick and maybe do like some predictions of like who we think's gonna win.
Yeah, and then I think we can wrap it up there. So yeah, Fagard versus RJ. I'm gonna give this one to RJ. I think they're still just the best team right now.
Yeah, I think they're looking hot.
Yep.
So I agree.
Dargans versus Fallen Angels depends on what version of Fallen Angels we get. I'm gonna give this one to Dargans. Ninja XK is looking good, man, on that team.
That is my org right now, so you know I gotta rap Dargans.
You're saying right now like you're not gonna be there much longer.
I will be filling for Scrim tomorrow, and then maybe play on Wednesday, and then my Dargan's future after that is very uncertain, so we will see.
That's pretty funny. That's pretty
but
funny.
I do love everyone on that that's part of that org though. So.
We've only been going for an hour. Actually, we have more time. We can keep yapping. But anyways, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna go for Dargans.
Yep. Crew and Blood Wardens. Honestly, listen.
That's a tough one.
I mean, Blood Wardens are 1-1 right now.
Crew is also 1-1.
Those the Crew. Let me look at the rosters again, just really quickly.
I want to see who played on the Crew this past weekend.
Okay. Yeah, to be fair, so the head-to-head here is Trey and Mario Bro, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, last I checked, I'm pretty sure they scrimmed and Trey put Mario Bro in the dirt.
Yeah, he was giving Mario Bro the work. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But the only thing is, again, like, you know, is Proflux going to be playing? And if he's playing, will he...
So this is the roster that played that Crew won with against Food Fighters was Drezzy, your local thug Joshi, which I think is Joshi Poo Loves You, Trey, Adora, and Pittsburgh Adam.
Okay, Pittsburgh.
He did play both game 1 and 2. He definitely built a lot better than that one time we saw him play.
Yeah. Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, and looking a lot better.
Heck yeah.
This time around.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then
I'm gonna give it to Crew, but 2-1 Crew.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Blood Wardens, who did they beat? They beat Dargans. That's who they beat. They beat Dargans. Yeah. It was really close.
But that was before the Ninja XK debut,
No.
right?
Ninja was there.
Was he?
This was this past weekend. No, it was just like
I got it.
Yeah. It was a really close set. It was good. It was a good set though. But like I feel like it could have gone either way. Really kind of tossed a little bit here and there. Mario Bro also tossed at times. Yeah, I think it'll go Crew, but I think it'll be a close game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Blood Wardens get the win. Blood Wardens just have this really weird play style, and I will say I'm kind of like Mario Bro has a really interesting god pool right now. I don't know what's going on with him that like he only seems to like be getting success with like the Hachiman, for example. And I think if teams start to recognize that, they can probably punish him a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, next matchup is Food Fighters and Going Ghost.
This is gonna be GG.
Yeah.
I mean,
GG 2-0.
Food Fighters are still looking to make roster changes from what I saw. And Going Ghost just seemed to
Jolly
be...
Mini Jinx are really like they're playing really well right now. Like those three are playing really, really good. I'm not saying that anyone on that roster is not playing good or anything like that, but those three are having a really, really like phenomenal showing lately. So until someone can like kind of put some brakes on that, they're probably just gonna win.
Yeah.
So
now we have the next most important matchup of the week.
Oh yeah. Where's Albion Sparta and Bard's College Sparta?
You yap because I'm not allowed to.
I got you. I think this will be. I think Words Albion will win it. Depending on the roster that's able to be fielded, though.
Interesting.
I think you win it regardless, honestly. But I do think, like, depending on like who's able to make it.
I do believe we'll have mechs on Sunday.
Okay, word. Well, awesome. As long as he gets like some practice in and he's not like super rusty. I think I could definitely see it being a 2-0. At worst, I see it being a 2-1. But I do think you guys win regardless. So.
Bard's cleared, not even close. SMH. Absolutely, with the absolute L take in the chat. Unlucky.
Nah, for real. Let's see, Skogs and Banshees.
Skogs and Banshees. This one, I mean, look, like Skogs haven't even played with their full roster yet, and they're still getting some wins here and there. They keep having to reschedule. I don't know, man. This is a tough one.
See, I don't think it's as tough as I'm thinking it is. I think it's gonna be.
I mean, if Skogs have their full roster, it's gonna be Skogs.
Yeah, I think it's Skogs 2-1. And that all depends on if the Athens drop down himself, Twinkletoes 12, has a good game or not.
Wait,
straight up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at these screenshots right now. The Twinkletoes 12 did not have good games last weekend.
Exactly. I want to see him do more. You know what I mean? Like he's used to playing at a higher level. He's looking like he's not even looking like one of the top 3 players in Sparta right now, which you can't have happening, I think, if you're someone like him. And you know, obviously the patch does like shift god pools around for sure. You know, variable like comfort levels. Maybe he just wasn't comfortable last week on, you know, with the new patch hitting, but
So
this week I want to see him play a lot better.
He is playing ADC though. So like again, he's at the role swap. Yeah. So like
he is off rolling, but like still like I still think he should just do better. Yeah. So
I agree. For someone who is hyped up so much, not only by other people but themselves, definitely want to see them actually perform.
Yeah.
And
no hate though. I literally just want to see him.
No, for sure. Like there's no like underlying like trying to be an ass about it. No, like I agree.
Yeah. So now it's what, Heart Showers and Crimson Mittens, Sparta.
Yeah, I mean this is gonna be KWM.
Yeah,
they're the best team in our division right now. I think it's gonna be KWM.
Okay. I would love to see Heart Showers pull out a win, at least like a game win here, just to get points for the week.
I have learned, and this is by interacting with Forerunner and Airhead in the same call, is that this team, this Heart Showers team, is just a vibe team. Like they are the SK Gaming, the Power of Friendship team. You know, like they are just a bunch of vibers. They all get along with each other, and they are a team that could take games off of anyone, I think, because of that.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think this will go KWM's way, but I think Heart Showers will take a game or two, or a game. Sorry.
I'm always down for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. La Jungla Sparta versus Kitsune Sparta. Well.
Yeah. I mean, depends on what version
get made.
Depends on. Well, yeah, but Kitsune also made changes to their team. I think, in theory, it's Kitsune's game to lose. Yeah. Will they fall into the trap of not, or will La Jungla, I guess, like get the honeymoon period with their new roster? I'm not so sure. It could happen. La Jungla are making some good changes to their team, and we'll have to wait and see how it impacts them. But I do think Kitsune is the stronger out of the two. I don't think La Jungla are ready for Kitsune's playstyle, because we were also not ready for Kitsune's playstyle, which is just like jump in your face. So
I think the thing to keep out for is, I think if Kitsune 2-0 this week, La Jungla will be looking at making. They definitely need to look at making more changes. But I think personally, a big change that I would love to see would be Death Guy moving off the roster to a different team. I think Death Guy is probably their best player on that roster, and for him to be on the roster just not finding success, I don't think he would want to stay on a roster that's like doesn't have like a really like competitive.
Are you saying Starry would like kick him, or that he would ask for a trade?
He would ask for a trade.
Okay. The way you made it sound is like, yeah, if La Jungla lose this week, honestly, get this Death guy,
bro. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here, man. No.
I think literally anybody else on that roster is in danger of being on the block, but but not Death Guy.
Yeah, Cornicle is also really good. I don't think he would. Yeah. Cornicle is also there to just vibe. He doesn't seem like the person that's going to ask for a trade. He's just there to vibe. Won't lie though.
I do see. Yeah, like I do see. Like I mean, like, you know, I think Cornicle, Death Guy are probably two of the sicker people on that roster, and like I don't know what the issue is with La Jungla, where they're just not meshing, or like they're not finding success.
They don't. But I would like to see those leader.
Yeah, I would like to see those components that everybody knows are like really, really good, like, you know, Sparta components for a team, move to like a different team and just elevate some of the other competition.
For sure.
I think that'd be really, really cool to see.
For sure.
Or they get a really sick trade and figure out what their mistakes are, and La Jungla really just make the comeback of the season. That'd be also dope to really see.
Yeah. Which is possible.
So if they lose next week, I'm praying on the downfall. So you heard it here first.
Hydra praying on La Jungla's downfall confirmed.
Exactly.
Unlucky.
Exactly.
I mean, like I watched Cornicle stream. He had a lot of his like picks and bans muted, which, you know, 2020 hindsight you probably shouldn't do. But like, man, like listening to them talk about like what's kind of going on, like their issues and like stuff on stream, it's very difficult to listen to. And like you kind of listen and you're like, there's just no leadership on the team. Cornicle, I think, is trying to be that voice of reasoning.
Yeah.
At times. It's just, I find there's a couple of those players just don't necessarily like, they can't like buy into a roster, I guess, the same way as like, say like Zexy and Halanu maybe have recently, like where like maybe it didn't really have reservations at first. We're really just ready to get on board and get on with it and get on the no IGL. IGL is a good way to look at it, yes, but I feel like there's just this weird disconnect of like there's no leader coming up with a game plan ahead of time. Maybe that's not true, but like I also feel there is a lack of an IGL in their game for sure, but also there's a lack of like mental leadership of like, all right, I've done the prep work for the week. Here's the game plan. Here's what we need to do to beat these guys. This is what we need to do, and this is what we need to draft. This is what we've drafting in scrims. You know, let's just keep on this page. You know, let's all keep on the same page. Let's play for these early objectives. We don't really have to worry about these objectives. And when they're down gold, they don't really look for ways to get back into the game versus like just kind of sit on their hands a lot. And maybe that'll change with some roster changes, but man, this team is struggling as is.
Yeah, unfortunate, honestly. I want to at least see them get a point this next upcoming week. But I think a lot of the issues that you highlight are actually really they're really common. Especially in like draft leagues where like you know, obviously it's a draft league, you don't have that built-in cohesion coming in 9 times out of 10. In some rare cases you do. Cough Warriors Albion. But yeah, like, you know, I mean, I think, you know, like that missing leadership component can really hurt a team, you know? I mean, like if you don't have anybody, you know, like doing your prep work, keeping everybody on the same page for picks and bans, making sure everybody's headspace of like how they want to play the map is like in the same, like, you know, like headspace, I guess is, you know, the best word for that. Like making sure everyone's on the same page, basically. You know, you can have 5 sick players, and if they're all on a different page, you're not going to have a cohesive story. You know what I mean? It's just bad. It's just unlucky. So I do hope to see that team, you know, fix their issues, turn it around. And if they can't do that, I'd like to see the best players on that team jump ship and find success somewhere else, honestly.
That's fair. And like, this is my biggest issue this season about like leadership, like players being captains. Like I find there are so many players like playing this season who are not good leaders, like captains wise. Like Bud, terrible captain, personally, I think. Unlucky. I don't know about Marm. I'm sure Drezzy's okay. Starry hasn't impressed as a captain so far. Liz definitely not it. Jaldok's fine. Forerunner seems to be like the viber, so like I think it's fine.
Hey, yeah, it works with that team, so it's fine.
Trillville, I mean, last season was a disaster. This season is not a disaster yet, but definitely a little on track. I don't know. We'll see. Like, I'm so shocked that like certain players got access to become captains this season that I'm like, just some org owner did not do their homework ahead of time.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at right
otherwise now. I mean, no, I agree. I think a lot of people would disagree with that take also. I don't think it's anything like, you know, crazy to say. So
yeah, which I don't know, like, I don't know. It's just really weird. It's just really weird that like certain players got access to becoming captains, and then well, that their history proves that they're not very good team players. So like, I don't understand how they were given this opportunity. It's just very odd to me. That's all. Unless people were just looking for anyone to be captains.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I will say, I do think some people, because obviously, you know, if you guys aren't familiar, OSL admins, they have free reign to, tell, whoever wants to be a captain no, and who wants to be a captain
Yeah,
yes, and stuff
apparently
like
they
that.
can.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
Which I had no idea that was the case for a while.
yeah, I know, right? You'd think like if the org owners want someone to be a captain, then
That would
fine,
be it.
but
yeah.
yeah, but obviously that's not the case all the time. And I will say, like I think some people, that maybe the admins wouldn't think would be a good captain, or just better captains they ever thought was possible. I think you're a great example of that. Where I think they had the reservations about letting you captain last season, and they were like, okay, like I guess he can captain this season, and the team's doing great. So
Yeah. And now they hate me, man. Now they hate me with that new fiber.
Unlucky.
Again. Honestly, man, I'm just here to cause a stir. What can I say?
You're to mess things up.
It's just is what it is, man. You get one good season out of me, and then I'm just here to cause a disturbance yet again.
You're a gremlin.
I do be entering my goblin era. What can I say?
Yeah.
I think that's it. Do we have anything else to talk about?
Nothing wild, honestly. It's been a pretty, again, like half the games have been rescheduled. So
yeah, there's so many being
we're
rescheduled
waiting.
right now. I don't know if it's a summer thing. I think it's also one thing to note, like a lot of there was a huge hurricane in the US, like a lot of people lost power. SDF just messaged in A&M that his power went out again after it just coming back.
He just got back today, man. Poor lad.
Yeah, poor lad. Hate to see it.
Yep. Unlucky for him.
But yeah, so a lot of people have lost power. So people haven't been able to play the game on the new patch. They haven't been able to actually put in practice and even play this week. So yeah, it's been pretty rough for most teams, I think.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. So, but yeah, no, again, hopefully, the next week brings better weather, shifter shield nerfs, viable ADC builds that kill people.
Please. Please.
I would love another Cannoneers buff. Just make it 35 prots. And,
okay, come on. It's pretty good already.
Hi, Raz. Buff Cannoneers cures, and my firstborn is yours. I'm not joking, bro.
Surely buff Fatalis, man. That item is weak.
Yeah, give it 50 power, honestly. I think it needs more power.
I agree. I think just add a bit more attack speed on it, and it's fine. Give it a little bit of attack speed.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I think, dude, Magical ADCs would be so busted with it. You got to nerf a Cade if you buff it, I think.
I don't know. I think there is a world you can make it 25 or 30 attack speed and it'll be fine. I think Magical ADCs already suck as is. I don't know. In comparison to the other
that's where
roles.
we disagree, bro. I think
to the other roles though, right? This is
true.
And even then, the statement still remains: if the jungler wants you dead, they will kill you in this meta, despite everything being a little tankier. If the jungler wants you dead, they will kill you. So I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
It's just it's a tough one. What can I say here? Absolutely nothing, Fish, because you've come here a little too late. We're wrapping up the show. Actually,
we're literally about to wrap up, Fish.
We're wrapping up the show, man. You showed up too late, man. Well, actually, we have a few minutes. If anyone has any questions for us, feel free to ask us our opinions on this week, on this week's matchups.
We did talk about matchups briefly, but if you want us to go in depth about one, I want to say fuck you. That's crazy.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, I guess
bro.
We can have a brief Q&A session if people want to ask us any questions. Oh, you heard that? That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. I get to hear it. Yeah, we were talking about how your team's gonna do really good this week, man. You can't say fuck.
Did
you
we?
For saying that, bro.
I didn't say that. No, that's not true.
Well, Kim's and Mittens. Yeah, they're gonna.
I did say that. Yeah. That is true.
Let's see. Who do they play? It's Hard Showers. Yeah, you guys probably 2-0 this week. So, yeah.
Give us your thoughts on win-loss trends from week. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Okay. Let me open.
Ooh, does that mean gods or
I don't know. Are we talking
about gods and stuff? Because I have hilarious takes.
Teams, give us your thoughts on win-loss trends from week 1.
Yeah, if it's win-loss trends of gods or teams, it'll be very different. But,
the teams in general. Oh, that's a good one, actually. Okay, yeah, we can talk
in general. Okay,
here, let me open this up again.
Yeah, just go. Go to their standings. I guess standings. We can talk about it.
Well, no, I think we want to go week 1 to week 2, right? So week 1, obviously, teams 2-0ing and 2-1ing. And then one thing I have noticed though, there is no consistency on a team making a change leading to more success for Sparta so far. So you have the likes of Wailing Banshees and Food Fighters both making changes between weeks 1 and 2. Both end up losing. Kitsune make internal changes and slight roster changes as well, actually. That's true. And end up having success. So far, there's no consistency in making a change will immediately make your team better. That's one thing. Number 2, on first glance, teams obviously playing with their full roster usually leads to more success, except Skogs.
True. Yeah, except Skogs. They're doing fine right now with other full rosters. So.
Yeah, but they've also had an easier schedule, I would say. Like week 1, they played Kitsune.
Bards, and then they haven't played the week 2 matchup yet.
Week 1 they played Kitsune.
Oh yeah.
Which was like pre-traded Kitsune. And
that's true.
It was Nelly Jungle Kitsune, so it was a lot easier.
So it was a week sooner.
It was a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah. No, for sure.
And I guess week 2, honestly, there's just a lot of 2-0s this week, honestly, which is interesting.
Yeah, I think I will say week 2 was patch week, so like
that's true.
I think that's just like what team adapted quick enough to the meta. You know, that like which team figured out the Shifter Shield was absolutely fucking brain dead bonkers. Which ones drafted better. With the patch in mind, stuff like that. So that week I wouldn't put a lot of stock in like the head to head. Like if a good team lost to a good team. Sweet, awesome, so
yeah. And like we can even look at like the standings here of like there's no change, I think, from the beginning of the season personally of like who I thought would be at the top of the divisions versus the other like teams, like Going Ghost is on top, RJ's on top of that division. Those are easily the 2 best teams of that division. The teams I thought would be at the middle of the pack are currently at the middle of the pack of like both divisions. Like,
is there a team that surprised you for like them being at the bottom?
A team that surprised me that is at the bottom?
Yeah, like you didn't expect them to be at the bottom, maybe.
Both La Jungla and Fallen Angels.
Yeah, I did not think La Jungla. I did not think a Death Guy roster would be winless right now. Not gonna lie.
Agreed. A Death Guy roster would be winless, and then the Fallen Angels roster obviously having to make changes after week 1 for reasons we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
But like I expected a lot more out of that team personally, and
same. Yeah,
clearly it's not going to happen.
Yeah, unlucky for them. Hey, on the bright side, the Delphi call-ups are getting great practice.
They're getting fantastic practice.
So.
It kind of sucks that they kind of play their Delphi set first and then this set, so they could actually receive burnout going into Sparta set.
Yeah,
but they're getting more playtime, which is fantastic.
That's true. And they do get to be in an environment with Sparta players. So like, I hope they're taking the opportunity to like learn a lot of stuff. So
I think that's like the most important part. Any other questions, chat, before we wrap up the show? Any other final questions?
Get up to the ground? Yes, sir, Benson. I'll be here smiling when it happens.
Agreed. So, I will also be very happy when Shifters get sniffed into the
burnout isn't real.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
That's not true.
Okay, maybe for some of these ranked demons that can slam rank queues for like 12 hours. But for me, where like, I don't know if you guys can see, but like that sunlight coming in to my apartment, like I love the outside world. I love walking outside, touching grass and stuff,
Yeah, touching grass is pretty OP, man.
Genuinely, and like I will say, like Smite, I think Smite 1's in probably the most fun stage it's been in a really, really long time,
Wait, right now?
Yeah, like right now. Well, minus Shifter Shield.
I was gonna say, like, this current patch is the most unfun I've had in a hot second.
Yeah. Last patch?
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Last patch was fun. Last patch was so much fun.
I wish they went back.
I think, it's honestly same. But I think like overall, Smite 1's in a pretty okay spot for being fun right now. But like I can only play like 2 or 3 ranked games a day.
Ranked is
sometimes
bad.
a week.
Ranked is really bad right now.
Like I don't know. Like my only enjoyment really comes from like scrims. Comes from comp games right now. When it comes to Smite. And I don't particularly care to change that.
Agreed.
So, but yeah, if you have me like double blocking a set, I'm gonna be burnt out. I told somebody. Because we had an AGL game and I had an Atussi Draft League game like right after. And I told him, I was like, guys, like listen, like I said, we just went to game 3. We won, but I'm gonna be so honest. You don't want me playing tonight.
That was a good set.
Like I will lose the set for us if you guys make me play right now. So Did they lose that game? Yes, but it wasn't my fault. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
But we won our AGL set, which I would argue is a lot more important.
True. Oh, way more important. Way more important.
The bad news Bears need to come out swinging this week.
Yeah, we do because they have playoffs after this week.
I can't believe it's already the end of the season.
Yeah, AGL playoffs is crazy, dude.
I can't believe like already we're done.
I feel like we just won Glacier Finals. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree. I feel like we just won Glacier. Like there's gonna be a whole other AGL. Like we're gonna have a whole other AGL season before OSL ends, bro. Like OSL
Which is wild.
OSL is so long.
It
like
started so late.
It's a whole like week of like preparing in terms of like, here are the captains. Then there's like 2 weeks of scouting matches. Then there's a week for the draft thingy. The marbles thingy. Then they have the actual draft. Then they have Golden Apple. Then they have 7-8 weeks of like regular season. Then they have Ascension Day.
Ascension. And
then you have 3 weeks of playoffs.
Yeah.
Like
it literally will not be done until next year. Like playoffs, dude. Like maybe I'm capping. Let me actually see.
It won't be next year. No, it'll be like the early fall. It'll be starting.
Yeah,
it'll end by. So like that's why they're kind of like
end of September, bro.
Yeah, pretty much the end of September is when it.
Yeah, the third place matches ridiculous. And the finals are played on September 22nd.
It's actually ridiculous how long this.
It's actually the end of September.
It's why at the end of every season of like OSL, I'm always so burnt out and then specifically so done with all my teammates, because like when you team with someone for a while, you kind of get like if you're kind of like done with people after a while, like to an extent.
Agreed. I agree.
And you just kind of like, like obviously you'd like go back and team with them again, but you just kind of like after the season's over, you're like, I'm free.
You're like, whew, we're good. We made it,
That's how I felt like after every season of draft season so far. Is I've just been so happy to be like off the roster, quote unquote. But like,
I feel that.
Not in a mean, malicious way of like, oh, these guys were so shit. I would never team with them again. Just like, oh, finally I'm free.
I have very few people I would ever consider like never teaming with again. Very few. There are a few, but I have very few.
Oh, teaming with again. Yeah, I know there's a lot of people I would not team with.
Yeah. There's people I would never team with.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just because they're bad, like for vibes. You know what I mean?
Like, you need the vibers, man. You need people that you're gonna vibe with and get along with and have fun with.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Is it 8 or 8:30? Our scrims are at? I think it's 8:30. I mean, I think
it's 8:30.
Yeah. Well, that was a good question.
Yeah, but I will.
That was a great question.
Yeah, no, that was a good question.
Chat, you should ask us more questions in the future.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's see. Is anything in my chat saying it's like mid-September for the OSL ending? Yeah. And then we have a Modern Rosters present. We have a whole league showing up over here. How you doing, Real? So, but yeah, I mean, do you have any other questions or anything like that? I think that was a really good question.
That was, yeah.
Yeah. Do we copy backliners from now on and just do like a question of the week, like a random question?
We could. I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I'd much prefer if chat asks us questions, but like that's just.
I mean, same. That way it's stuff they care about. Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Then we're not like being like, "Hey Hydra, what was your least favorite item this week?"
Oh, you know what? It was Shifter Shield, man. I wonder why.
I can't imagine why my least favorite item was Shifter Shield right now. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be cool if you guys ask us more questions, ask us more. Like we'll do like Q&A.
Yeah, we'll start doing a chat question, I think, every week. I think that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
Fucking Shifters is crazy. Yeah, it's actually insane.
Shifters is crazy. It needs to be gotten rid of at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully there's a shift in the meta by next week. Boom.
A shift in the.
Yeah. But well, I think that's it. I think that's all we got for the week. Again, we'll bring to you guys next week if anything crazy happens. If a trade happens after we end the stream, I'm gonna die laughing because it happens every week.
It happens every week.
It's so funny.
It happens every single
literally
week.
Without fail, the trade every single week after we end stream. It's actually so funny. I think the admins do it just to troll us at this point. I don't know.
I think so too. I think Bean Soup Bob, Godsend, like the likes of them are just like preying on our downfall. Not really. Oh well. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching and listening in to our show, The Warriors of Albion Greenroom podcast. I'm Spiritedbook, once again, joined by my lovely commentator, co-commentator and co-host, Hydra, my goat, my king. we do this every week, every Monday at 6. Today was just a little late because Hydra was stuck in traffic.
I was stuck in traffic.
every Monday at 6 p.m. EST, we do this live on twitch.tv/spiritedbook and twitch.tv/chaotic hydra. You can also find us on youtube.com/spiritedbook, where I post all the VODs of every stream for these little shows. And then you can also find us on Spotify at Warriors of Albion Greenroom podcast, I believe, on Spotify. And we post all the audio versions of this onto Spotify, and it's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Listen to us while you drive. Listen to us while you eat food.
Yeah.
Listen to us while you're feeding your end games. It'll be fun.
Exactly.
It'll be great.
You know, like you need to consume the content, man. Consume the content.
Exactly.
Get better at Smite Game. Be ready for more OSL like content and vibes. And yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna be hopping back on the stream in just a couple like minutes here, just for the scrim I'm having in half an hour versus Bards. So if anyone wants to tune in that, well, they're welcome to do that. But yeah, we'll for now we'll wrap up the show here, and we'll see you guys next time, same time, same place, and we'll see you then.
Hell yeah! Catch you guys. Peace out.